Hi, it's Karen Damsho with Damsho Financial Planning, here with your weekly Medicare and health insurance update. So last week I talked to you about 10 terms that I really think you need to be familiar with. This week I'm going to tell you what to do if you get an unexpected medical bill. So the first thing to do is don't pay it right out of the gate. There are a lot of steps you can take if it's a bill you were not expecting. Also, don't panic and don't panic pay. So the first thing you should do is go back and review what's called your explanation of benefits, or your EOB. This is that explanation that your insurance company has that says, here's how much the service was billed for, here's how much the insurance company paid, here's how much your responsibility is. And you want to make sure, especially if you got this bill quickly after a medical service, that your insurance company has even had time to pay their portion. Typically, it can take 30, 60, maybe even 90 days before the insurance company pays their portion. You can also request an itemized bill from the provider. So if you're not sure what you're being charged for, it's your money. Ask. You can call the insurance company to verify that this is in fact your portion of the bill. Very common that somebody may be billed for something as an out-of-network service or an out-of-network provider, and they were actually in-network. And then, as I talked about last week in our terms, if you are not sure whether or not this bill should go through, but you've called your insurance company, you've called the provider, everything lines up, and you think you're going to end up paying this bill, you can always file an appeal if you need to. So if your insurance company denied coverage for a necessary covered service, you definitely have the right to file that internal appeal and request an external review. You can definitely dispute large differences in the bill. So if you received an estimate from a provider and then you got this huge bill on top of it, if that bill was at least $400 or higher than that good faith estimate provided by the doctor or the provider, then you can initiate a dispute process. There is a federal protection called the No Surprises Act. This applies to most emergency services and some non-emergency care, but you can absolutely dig into that and make sure that you're not getting billed for or paying more than you need to. Because going back and fighting to get that money back later is a much longer process than doing your due diligence on the front end. Now, if you have a deductible, especially early in the year, it is possible that you're receiving bills because you have not yet met that deductible. So make sure you check that out too. Of course, if you have any questions, you're not clear on a bill, feel free to give me a call. We're always here to help. I'll see you again next week.